being alone and working on yourself, even though you might be sad, is so worth it in the long run because you're more confident. You know who you are and you know what you want, not in a relationship, but just in life. Like, honestly.
You're listening to
Big
Sis Energy.
Welcome back to Big Sis Energy. I'm your host, Makenzie.
And I'm your other host, Malia. Well, actually, let's backtrack a little bit. It's not welcome back to Big Sis Energy. It's welcome to Big Sis Energy because this is our very first podcast episode.
I'm so excited. We've been talking about this for a minute.
I know, and I don't know why I'm like a little bit nervous right now because we got like a whole like camera crew, like everything. We're used to just our phones, so this is a little new for us, but we're super excited to start this episode.
I know, I can't believe it. And honestly, like all the lights, we're used to our little ring light in our room, in our
like
apartment.
Filming in the bathroom.
But here we are, we got like the 3 cameras and I'm like,
This is intense, but I love it though. It's a new scenery for us, so we're liking it.
It's fun to spice things up.
I know.
But this podcast, Big Sis Energy, is going to be a slumber party vibe. We're going to talk to the girls.
Yes.
And we're going to chit chat, talk about some tea, give y'all some advice. Hopefully you can take some away from this.
Yes. I mean, obviously we're not professionals or anything, but we do want to just like kind of have a fun little slumber party vibe like Kenzie was saying. Y'all can get to know us from this podcast because that's why we wanted to start it, just because it's more authentic. You can see our personalities. It's definitely longer form content than our TikTok videos. So it'll be different, but it's fun. Y'all will get to know us. We'll get to know y'all.
And we're answering your guys' questions. We asked a lot of questions on our Instagram stories. Yes. And we're actually going to dive right into that today. So the first question is, how to attract quality men? Ooh. This is actually, I feel like I'm qualified to talk about this because I've been dating my boyfriend for 2.5 years and he is a gem. Like,
he is. We love John.
He is such a good man and he treats me so well. And I just feel very lucky to be in a relationship like the one that I'm in.
Aww.
And it's actually
cute little soundtrack in the back.
It's actually like 2.5 years, almost to the day. It's our 2.5 year next week.
Oh.
So I'm like, like,
y'all cute.
But yeah, so I think first things first, you have to be comfortable and confident in yourself.
Yes. I say too, being independent. I feel like that's a big one for me is like, if you are not comfortable in your own skin, and I've met people that like need to be in a relationship to be happy. And I feel like that's just, it's not healthy because you can't rely on someone else to make you happy. Obviously, when you're in a relationship, you love the person, you like the person, you want to be happy. And that's great. Like if you're not happy by yourself, like being with someone else is only going to temporarily make you happy.
When I first met my boyfriend, I was not really looking for a relationship. I'm going to be honest. And I think that plays a big part into it. When you're looking for something, you can kind of fall upon the wrong things
what I was
or the wrong
say.
people.
I feel like that is one of my like number one things is like, if you try to force a relationship, at least speaking from personal experience, it does not go well. I feel like if you're trying to force something, especially like with the dating apps now, I'm like, I don't know if y'all have like luck with that, but it's treacherous out here, you know?
Our cousin's getting married in October and she did meet someone off Hinge.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So
she's like the 1%. The 1%, though, you know?
There's
the 1%ers.
Some people out there who make it on them dating apps and congrats to y'all. I think being independent first and knowing what you want. What you want and having your expectations set in stone.
Your expectations and boundaries, which is another topic of this podcast episode, which is like a good little segment. Look at us.
Yes, I feel like not settling.
Not settling.
I think that is 100% the biggest thing about finding the perfect person for you is not settling for less than what you expect in a relationship.
Also, too, some people might not even know their boundaries, and I feel like that is such a bad place to be.
Yes.
So if you don't know your boundaries, I would say really think about them, even write them down in your notes of like, okay, what do I want in a man? Like what do I want in a partner? Have that list out written so that way you know what you aren't going to settle for.
I remember, guys, this is our second date. I remember. So our parents were super strict and we wanted to go stargazing. And my dad's like, I don't know about y'all going stargazing. And I'm like, Dad, it's going to be fine. Like, trust me. So me and my boyfriend go stargazing. Again, I'm 17. And we sit in the back of the car and I literally look at him and I go, so what are your intentions with me?
Oh. And the grilling began.
Not my dad grilling him, not my mom grilling him. I was like the one to be, hey, what do you see where do you see this relationship going? And what does that look like to you? So I actually asked you guys how you think you would attract a quality man. And I got some interesting answers. First thing is eye contact and smile and eye contact.
Oh, okay. I don't know. That's not how to attract a quality man. Maybe that's how to attract a cute man.
That's just Riz.
That's just Riz at the end of the day, I think. I don't know if that's like, how do you attract a quality man? Because I mean, he could be cute, but he might not be, quality.
Exactly.
That's just like a little like, come on, like, come over here. I actually saw a video that like looking at someone
is shooting their shot.
Yeah. Like if you're intentionally looking at someone and smiling.
Oh yeah.
And like, like giving them like a little look.
That's like a hint. Hey, come over here and talk to me. I feel like that's what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Next thing that y'all said was you attract who you are. If you want an athlete, get up and go to the gym. If you want a smart ... I don't know.
Smart what? Like a smart bookworm? Like
if you want a smart man,
go to Barnes and Noble.
Is that what you mean by that? I do agree with you. You attract who you are. Mm-hmm. I think that's well said.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like you have to put out good energy to receive good energy. And I feel like Malia said, toxic people sometimes attract toxic people as well. Mm-hmm. So don't be toxic out here if you don't want a toxic man in your life. Next person said, ladies, ... carry yourself like queens. Walk, speak, laugh, eat, and dress like a goddess. Period. Warm energy. Period. Now, that was not the question. The question was not, what do you think I should do to attract a quality man?
Yeah, what is that? What is that? It was how to attract a quality man.
Okay, next one. Set your standards and don't back down. And if they don't meet them, leave.
Amen.
My friend actually said, by respecting yourself and your boundaries and being your truest, honest self. Mm-hmm. When you're your true self, the person knows exactly what they're getting. Mm-hmm. If you're putting on a facade, if you're faking it, if you're trying to be someone that you're not.
Yeah, if you're putting on a front.
To please somebody else.
What are you doing?
You can only keep that up for what? 6 weeks? A month?
But then you're attracting the wrong person. Like,
exactly.
They're not going to be the right person for you at the end of the day because you're not being your authentic, genuine self.
You're not being you.
Yeah.
You have to be yourself to attract somebody that you want to be with for a long period of time.
Exactly.
If you're looking for your for lifer, you need to be yourself because you can't put on a facade your whole life.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Do not settle. It's so worth taking the time to be alone and grow with yourself.
Amen.
Ooh. That is so true. Okay, this is a little like off topic, but this is true in friendships too. Mm-hmm. Malia and I were homeschooled, and I know we'll probably make a full episode on this too, but we did online school and we had no friends for 3 or 4 years. Like it was literally
lonely. Like honestly, I was kind of depressed because all we had was each other. And I'm thankful that Kenzie and I did have each other because like if it was just me, I would have been down in the dumps, like more down in the dumps than I was.
Exactly.
So it was hard, and it's hard not having friends. And I feel like how we made friends, because we work from home, we used to do online school. So it's hard to actually like make friends if you're not in school.
Yep.
So putting yourself out there is like my number one advice for that, because
get some hobbies, y'all.
Yeah, get some hobbies, like things that you want to do. Like if you like dancing, go take a dance class. Like you might meet someone cool there, So
you might meet friends and then meet their other friends. That's happened to us so many times. And I feel like that's just by putting yourself out there.
Right.
But being alone and working on yourself, even though you might be sad, is so worth it in the long run because you're more confident. Mm-hmm. You know who you are and you know what you want, not in a relationship, but just in life. Like, honestly.
But I feel like especially when you know what you want, you aren't going to settle ever.
Yes.
And that's like...
because you know what being alone is like.
Yeah.
And you know that the worst thing that can happen is you being alone and it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. And you can't be afraid of that. And I know other people, like, for me, I'm an introvert, so I don't mind being alone. But, like, for other people, that might be super scary,
Yeah, because I'm not going to lie. I'm definitely an extrovert. I love being around people. I could be with my man every day of the week and be fine. Like, I would be extremely happy with that.
You know what I mean? I'm the total opposite. Like, I'm in a relationship and I every once in a while, like I need time to myself. Like I just need like a day to myself to really like recuperate, recharge, just because I feel like when I'm socializing with people like 24/7, I just need a day to myself to be drained. Like, okay, I get drained and then I'm like, okay, I need to recharge and then I can go back out. And
that's me with like big social settings.
Right.
But one-on-one, like with my partner, I could be with him every day of the week. Obviously that's not realistic. And I'm totally self-sufficient enough to be able to be like, hey, I can take some time to myself. Right. He can take some time to himself. It'll all be fine, but that's not something like I crave.
Yeah.
So, okay, next question, and this is actually the last one for how to attract a quality man. I want someone who can joke with me, but also be able to have deep conversations.
Ooh, I've actually said this before.
Yes.
Because I'm like, okay, I need both. Like, I need you to be goofy in yourself and fun, but then also when it comes down to like being emotionally intelligent and like being able to have a real conversation and actually like express your feelings. Because I've talked to people before where they don't know how to express their feelings, and it's hard. It's hard to be in a relationship with someone like that because if you can't listen to someone else, like, That's your person. That's your partner. Like, they need to be there for you, you know?
Yes.
And vice versa.
But also, you don't want someone too serious. Like what you said.
Yeah.
I agree. If someone's just always wanting to have deep emotional conversations but can't crack a joke.
Yeah.
Doesn't laugh with you, doesn't dance with you.
Right. See, that's for me, like, personally, like, I need to have both of that.
Malia keeps pulling out the personally. She's like, see, now me personally.
I'm just saying that because, you know, some of the people might like a super serious person because, like, I don't know. Also, too, there's people that, like, are only goofy and then they can't take anything seriously. So there needs to be a good balance, you know?
That might be worse than the too serious.
Because then they're just like children, you know?
Because,
like an actual child.
Yeah, that's not somebody that you can build a foundation on.
Right.
I feel like when you're starting a relationship, you want to start by building a solid foundation. And that's what the first, 3 months of a relationship are.
Yeah. Well, like getting to know the person.
Figuring them out and figuring out what you want, figuring out what they want, and how you guys can make that happen together.
Right.
So yeah, I think next thing is a little challenge.
After this, y'all, we have a little challenge. I don't know if you guys have seen this on TikTok. It was trending a little while back, but we're gonna bring it back to the podcast. So this challenge is rules in a relationship. So we got 6 rules. I'm gonna read them off, and Kenzie and I are gonna answer them. And I want y'all to answer them down below in the comments and what y'all think about these questions. All right, you ready?
Okay, let's get into these rules.
The first one is location. What do we think about location?
Okay, so are these like yes or no answers, or
these
are we just
these are just like our explanation, like in the relationship? So like, do you think you should have your partner's location, or like if you do, why or why not?
Okay, so for me, it can be toxic, but that being said, my partner and I, we do have each other's locations. Personally, your face, bruh. So I think that the reason that this can be toxic is because you're just following the person everywhere they go. They're like, they said they went to Subway? Why are they at Wendy's?
It can become obsessive.
It can become very obsessive, and that's not healthy. I think in my case, I feel safer knowing that he knows where I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and especially when we travel too, like, okay, they made it back to the hotel. They're good to go.
Good.
You know what I mean? And I think also, like, if he's coming over to my place, I'm like, oh, he's 5 minutes away. Let me go run downstairs and greet him. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think it can be a good thing, but it's also how it's brought up. It can be weird if someone's like, I need your location. You said you were coming to my house and you're not here. It's been 10 minutes. You know? So it's like everything can be taken in a toxic way.
And that's what I was thinking with most of these questions. Like, these are all like pretty good questions. And I feel like they can be toxic if you make it toxic. Exactly. So that's kind of like what I'm seeing, and that's kind of the pattern with all of these. But I definitely agree with what you're saying. I feel like depends on how you bring it up. I feel like especially in like a newer relationship, at least for me, because I've been dating this guy for like, 3, almost 4 months. Like, I don't see the need to put on the location. Obviously, a number one thing is like trust, and like you should trust your partner. But if they give you a reason to not trust you, then I could see like, okay, that could be a valid like solution.
Right.
But I feel like if you're hounding your partner and like, where are you? Like, what are you doing? It can get toxic. But again, I don't have anything to hide. So like, I don't mind having my location on.
I was going to say,
like, you can see where I'm going. Like, I don't really see a problem with it. But if it starts to get toxic and like where people are, tracking your every move, I feel like that's not good.
The thing is, you're never going to know that though.
That is
You're
true.
never going to know if someone's tracking
until
your every
they start
move.
blowing up your phone though.
Ooh,
like I
I
feel like someone could start spamming you and be like, where the heck are you? Like, you didn't tell me where you're going, like blah blah blah.
And you're just at your girlfriend's house and you're like, what you mean, where am I?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's totally true. And I think like you said, when you have nothing to hide, it's like, okay, I don't see the problem.
Exactly.
But that's just me.
It honestly just depends on the relationship, y'all.
Exactly.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next question.
That's rambling.
Second question is passwords. How do you feel about that?
Ooh, okay. I'm chill with passwords. I feel like having your phone password is fine, but if you need my like Instagram login, the TikTok login, the email login, that's a little weird. That seems a little controlling.
That's a little scary.
You know what I mean? But like, hey, can you put on aux? Let me just use my Face ID real quick.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that is totally fine.
Passwords are cool with me too. Like, I don't care. You can go on my phone. I go on your phone. I'm not gonna like hound you for your password though. Be like, give me your password right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm totally cool with it. Like, I don't really care. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's that for that one.
Pretty simple.
Number 3, we got height.
I do need my man to be taller than me. I am tall. And I know this is like controversial because there are so many short kings out there.
There are short kings.
But there's also a lot of short queens out there. Who are looking for short kings. So it's like me being the 5'9" girl that I am. I need someone who's...
Kenzie and I are like decently tall.
Yeah.
And I feel like I would like my man to be taller than me.
I feel like that's not too much to ask.
I have been out with people that are like the same height as me, and it's not bad. And I mean, I feel like if it's love, it's love. But also, I don't want to have to worry about wearing my heels and being taller than you.
Yeah.
So if you don't care about that, good for you. But I do like my man to be taller than me as well.
And that's just personal preference.
Personal preference.
So don't come for us, y'all.
The personal preference. Okay. The next one is your friends. So it would be like his friends. So how you feel about like his friends?
Okay, so I was thinking about this one, and I'm like, I don't really care. I don't really care. Like, I don't need to hang out with your friends. You can have your own. You can have your guy time. I can have my girl time. Like, we don't need to be besties with each other's friends. I think it's nice to be acquaintances, and like at least I feel like it's a red flag if they're like, I don't want you to meet my friends, because then they're hiding something.
Bro, you stole that from me.
Bro, you stole that. It's true though. It's so true. Because if they're hiding who their friends are, I feel like you are who you surround yourself with.
Yes.
I know when I've been in friendships and the person can be a little bit toxic, I notice myself like thinking more negatively. And I'm like, okay, wait, I need to take a step back from this friend and maybe make them an acquaintance.
No, and that's so true, because I feel like if you surround yourself with toxic people or just bad people in general, like chances are they're probably like that too, and they're just like, you know, hiding it from you.
That's so true.
Because like if they don't see a problem with what their friends are doing and it's like questionable things, like come on now. I feel like there's a balance, because you know, you could have a childhood best friend, you know,
and maybe you don't see them that often.
And maybe you don't
anymore.
see them that often, but if it's like every once in a while, that's cool. But if it's like a continual thing where you're like every weekend you're hanging out and they're like, you know, they're trouble, no good.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be a problem.
That's a red flag.
Yeah. I think so too. Right.
But you should also be aware of your energy when you're around other people and noticing yourself, being self-aware.
Right.
Noticing, okay, this person might not be beneficial in my life, and that's okay. Let me distance myself.
Exactly.
So, and same goes for my friends.
Yeah.
You know, like
vice versa. I don't want to hang around toxic people because I do not like drama. I would rather be by myself than with toxic people. Like, I do not care. If you bring toxicity in my life or drama, I'm going to cut you off. That's just, or at least distance myself.
Even when
if I need to cut someone off, I will, but I will probably distance myself from you because I don't want that negative energy in my life.
Even when the drama isn't about me and is just about your life, it does kind of like consume you. If you have a friend that constantly has drama, you know what it's like to be the listening friend.
I'm sorry, but like a friendship is supposed to go both ways. They're supposed to come to you and talk to you, and you do the same to them. Like, you want to hear each other's problems, but it's not like a toxic, like dramatic thing
every time,
and like someone like dumping everything on you. Because I feel like that can become a lot too, because you know, I've had that happen to me before, and then I'm not mentally well to like listen to someone at the time, and I'm just like getting dumped with all of this like drama, and I'm like, oh gosh.
Well, it's different when it's on occasion versus every single time you hang out, because if someone who is a true friend has a problem, of course I'm gonna be there. Call me up, I'm gonna run to your house and be there to give you a hug, get you food,
because that's the type of friend you are.
I'm there, but it's not on every single time we hang out with each other you're draining my energy. It's not that, because that's not healthy.
Okay, next question is girl best friends.
Okay, this is like an absolute no for me.
No.
Like, I don't know if this is controversial or not, and I don't really care. But but this is a heck no, because
me personally,
bruh, watching this back, I don't have no boy best friend. My man is your best friend.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Then Malia is my best friend. Then my other sister's my best friend. I have a few girl best friends. I have friends who are guys, but I ain't have no guy best friend.
Right.
That title doesn't need to be just given out willy-nilly. That's not that's not funny. That's not a joke. Man. Yeah, I think being alone with the opposite gender
is a no-go.
Especially for like a long period of time, or if it's super frequent. It's like
why?
Oh, this is my homegirl from middle school.
I don't care.
Cool. That's cool and all, but I'm your homegirl.
We're not going to be together. If this is going to be...
This is my boundary.
If you do have friends, maybe y'all can talk about that. See, for me, I feel like it's cool if y'all hang out in a group setting. If it's one-on-one, that's a heck no for me.
Yeah.
Like, why are y'all hanging out one-on-one? Like, you got me, boo.
You got me one-on-one. We chilling.
Yeah.
We chilling. Yeah.
I'm your best friend, you know?
But obviously, like, if it's in a group setting and it's like...
That's cool.
Every once in a while, like, sure. Like,
yeah, go ahead.
Of course you can have girlfriends. Like, that's a little controlling to be like, you can only hang out with the boys. Like, that's weird.
Like, obviously, you can have other friends of the opposite sex, but one-on-one, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Next
one
question.
is partying, clubs, bars, strips.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. So, okay. Obviously, I feel like if it's not like a everyday type thing, sure. Like I love to have fun with my friends. I love to go out. I love to stay in, have a little girls' night. And I feel like that's super fun, but it's not like an everyday, every weekend even type thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Plus, we're not even of age yet. But when that does become a topic.
I am a child.
Yes. I mean, I'll be 21 in September, so. But I would agree, partying, clubbing, bars, like every once in a while with the bros, same with the bros. But like even like with my girlfriends, like I want to go out every once in a while, have fun. But I don't think it should be a continual like every weekend thing, every night, like going out. I feel like that's definitely a problem, at least for me in a relationship, because like if you're going out, I want to go out with you too.
Yeah, you know? Where's the invite, boo?
Strip clubs? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about no strip clubs. Why?
I know some people are cool with it. Like I think it just depends on your relationship. For me personally, I don't know.
I don't think you need to be like fantasizing about another girl when I'm right here.
When I'm right here.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a no-go for me.
I would agree.
And I'm not going to go to no Magic Mike Club. What? Yeah. Like, even when I'm 21, I know I'm 19. I'm just saying, I don't need to see other guys that are shirtless dancing. Like, that's...
Right. That's for the single life. If you want to be single.
Then go see a ton of other people. That's super fun for you. Not for me.
Agreed.
Is there any more rules?
The very last question is, or rule, liking other girls' IG pics.
Okay, this one is super controversial. I'm not gonna lie, and I do have a hot take. Okay,
me too.
We have the
answers
same
are pretty much
take.
the same.
Yeah.
But basically, for me, I'm gonna say it depends, because if it's a friend that you actually know, that's cool with me. Like liking her pictures, that's cool.
You went to high school with her? You went to middle school?
That's cool.
That's so cool. You know her? Okay.
And like maybe a celebrity, that's cool. But the problem with me liking like half naked girls' pictures.
If someone's bent over in a picture, I don't think you need to be liking their picture.
Right, because
that's disrespectful.
For me, I think that's disrespectful, and I wouldn't do the same. Like I'm not gonna like a half naked man's picture on Instagram, especially a like. Like I feel like it's one thing you can just like scroll, just like keep scrolling.
Because I have friends where their man is in every single girl that I follow, like that I'm friends with, that maybe like is a little cute, does some poses, go girl. And I see their man liking all their pictures, and I'm like,
but it's like every single
girl,
one.
are you seeing this? Like every single time, like before I get to like it.
And I'm like,
every single time.
And it's funny because like we question it too. I'm like, like that's kind of, that's not
like
good.
Why your man liking every single bent over picture?
I feel like for me it's a little embarrassing. Like
it is
a little embarrassing. Like if your man is up in everyone's Instagram likes.
If that's the life for you, then go ahead.
If you don't see a problem with it, hey, that's you can deal with that. So that is it for the challenge.
We are actually going to take a little tiny break.
Little intermission.
We will be right back. Let's go.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so during our break, y'all, we talked to the camera guy and he goes, hold up. That was a little controversial. And you know what? I agree on a few things. So he said the girl best friend and having alone time with girls can be fine. Mm-hmm. And I agree with that. I think in relationships, the rule of thumb is there are no rules.
Right.
It's conversations. If something makes you uncomfortable, then you bring it up.
Yeah. I think it just depends on the circumstance and also your guys' relationship, what you guys are both comfortable with. I think a lot of things too comes down to trust, because also if you can't trust your partner, like
you shouldn't be
in that relationship, and then vice versa.
If something makes you uncomfortable, don't be afraid to talk about it.
Right.
Have that conversation and then make some slight adjustments.
Right.
That doesn't mean you can't hang out with any girls one-on-one. But if that does, I feel like I would be a little bit uncomfortable, because for me, I have had guy friends where we had a relationship before my relationship.
Right.
Not a romantic relationship, but a platonic relationship, just a friendship. And we would still hang out after I got into my relationship.
Right.
And we would hang out in group settings. It was never, hey, let's hang out, go get food one-on-one, come over to my place one-on-one. It's in a group setting.
Right.
it's definitely friendship vibes, and my partner's met them, so it's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
so
also too, like, bring your partner along with your friendships. Like, if they're cool with it, like, great, like, let's all hang out, you know?
Exactly.
Like, I feel like it shouldn't be like maybe a secretive thing, because I know sometimes it can get to that toxic point where some people are like, you know, sneaking around or like, oh yeah, like, we're just friends, like, you don't have to worry about it. And then, like, you know.
But I also think too, it is a trust thing where like maybe they don't have to meet them,
right,
but have trust and faith in you enough to, if you're having a friendship with somebody, you're not gonna make bad decisions just because they're the opposite sex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's a little silly. If you are so worried about your partner cheating on you, then you don't trust them.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be in that relationship if you don't trust your partner.
Exactly.
So that was a little disclaimer. Let's get into expectations in a relationship.
Oh.
And we asked y'all what yours were. So we're going to go through those and see what we agree with, see what we disagree with. Someone who is emotionally intelligent is someone's expectation in a relationship.
Yes. I know some people like can struggle maybe opening up, because I definitely, I understand that. I struggle opening up, but I feel like for me, I try to make myself, because if I don't, then it'll eat me alive. And I'm like, okay, this is something I need to bring up, or this is something I need to talk about, because it is a part of my life. And obviously when you're dating someone, like both of your lives become kind of one, you know? So it's like,
this is so funny because I always consider myself not an emotional person. And I think my dad, me and him are very similar. And he's very non-emotional. And I'm like, I feel like I'm the same as my dad sometimes.
Yeah.
But once I got into a relationship, I feel like my partner kind of like pulled at me a little bit and was like, hey, like, how does this make you feel?
right.
And we would have those long conversations and he would sit there and be like, so you feel this way, but why? And then we'd have more in-depth conversations. And then I got to the realization that, oh, wait, I do have emotions. I've just been putting them in the back of my brain all this time and I don't address them.
Right.
And that's not healthy because that can eat at you over time.
And that just comes down to communication.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you guys are open to talking about it. And some people aren't. And I feel like even if you know, like yourself, like you know that it's hard for you to open up, that's okay. Like it's hard for all of us to open up about like certain things in our life, because
especially if
some
it's, like,
things are traumatic.
yeah.
Like you never know what people have gone through.
Also being vocal about it being hard to open up.
Right.
Like I feel like that was one of the first things that I told my partner was it is a little hard for me to talk about some things sometimes. And that's okay. But it might just take me longer than, 20 minutes to have a conversation. Next expectation is no telling me where I can and can't go, what I can and can't wear. If we can't trust each other, why are we together? I agree.
I agree with that.
I agree.
Yeah,
and
I feel like you should not be telling someone what they can and can't wear.
Exactly.
Or can and can't go. Like that's very controlling, I think.
It's back to the rules. Telling someone they can't do something,
that's crazy.
Is a little crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't wear skirts anymore. I would be like, bombastic red flag.
Bombastic
that is very, very controlling.
Well, it's hard too because sometimes people can be very subtly manipulative.
Yes.
It's not like extreme red flags off the bat. Like some people are like that and you notice it and then you run. But some people are like a little bit subtle.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think that there are situations where maybe you're going over to your boyfriend's parents' house and grandma's going to be there. And you put on a club dress. Maybe he's going to be like, hey, sweetheart, maybe we shouldn't wear this to go see grandma. I feel like that is an appropriate situation to not maybe have a rule where you can't do this, you can't wear this, but you make a subtle comment like, hey, maybe we should save this outfit for a different time.
Yeah. There's a time and a place to wear certain things.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like there's always exceptions, but people should not tell you what to do.
Very controlling.
It should be a conversation if someone's uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Also, if you're dating somebody and they know how you dress, if you meet somebody, they've seen your Instagram, they've seen you in person, they know how you dress on the daily, and they want to now make changes to it. It's like
they shouldn't be trying to change you.
For me, this is my style, so take it or leave it. Okay, a lot of people actually said this one. No means no.
Oh.
That should be
a given.
That should be standard.
Yeah.
Someone said, if I say I don't want to do something, we don't do it.
Point blank.
And that goes for both sides of the relationship. If someone does not want to do something, it's not a maybe, it's a no. Yeah. Then it's a no.
And they shouldn't be like trying to pressure you to do anything like that's, or like trying to manipulate you to be like, oh.
Yeah. Especially if you've been through trauma and something triggers you, telling your partner what those triggers might be, because
that way they're aware and they know.
Exactly. You're not just like, oh no, because I said so, which is still valid. Yeah. But giving a little bit more reasoning too of like, hey, I've been through something and I don't want to do certain things. You know, whatever that may be.
But yes, no does mean no.
Bro, this one's kind of
funny. If they don't respect that, then leave.
That's someone not respecting your values, your morals,
your
or
boundaries,
just you in general. So, someone said, number 1, pay for my lashes. Number 2, must watch princess movies with me. And 3, must listen to your podcast when it gets released.
Hey,
I agree with the third one.
That's a must. Listen to the podcast.
That's funny. Pay for my lashes. You guys are really out here with these expectations.
Dang, that's an expectation to pay for. Oh wow,
like, that might be like an addition. You know, I feel like certain, especially like financial things for me, like that doesn't matter to me too much. You know, like someone paying for my things. That's like, oh, for my birthday, like a little extra something. Yeah. Like I always am very like grateful for that, but I don't necessarily expect it.
I don't feel like I'd ever expect someone to like pay for something for me. Yeah. But like if someone does like that and they like genuinely like want to do it because it's like they want to treat you to something, like I'm all for that, you know?
Yeah. I think it's funny because like the way we grew up almost, I'm a little uncomfortable with people paying for my stuff.
Right. Yeah, me too.
I've always been that way.
Yeah.
After being in like a relationship for a while, it's nice to have like certain things like, oh, like I got you a little gift. I thought about you. Yeah. But it doesn't need to be like lavish. Like it can be like, hey, like I know this is your favorite chocolate. I got it for you. Right. Like that's so cute.
And that's what people's love languages too, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. This is the very last expectation. Oh. PDA in public. I do not like PDA. When I see other people like, oh, I don't know. It just makes me really mad.
It's those couples at like the theme parks that are like all over each other. And I'm like, y'all, like, we're in line right now.
Holding hands is cute, but you don't need to be like cuddling or like literally hugging.
I know.
For hours upon hours on end. Like, there's other people here.
Yeah, like
y'all you have alone time.
Y'all will have your alone time. Don't you worry.
Don't you worry.
Yeah. But for me, I like hand holding. That's probably about it. Do you think that's where I draw the line. But also I know other people are very affectionate. And I do not like any sort of like touching in public at all. It makes me super uncomfortable.
I think that might be because of the way we were raised too. Like, cause I know some people, they're fine with like a little bit of PDA. Right. And I'm not talking about like literally making out with somebody like in public. Like that should be a given.
Yeah.
But I think like our parents, they were not very like physically affectionate at all when we were growing up. Yeah. And they love each other. They're still married. Like they are in love with each other, but they were never like really touching at all.
Yeah.
Now that
I feel like I like never like, I mean, I see them like kiss when like
a little
got
peck
home, like a little
in
peck,
the morning,
and then that was it.
In the morning when they're getting their coffee, like that's so cute. That's very wholesome. But like
that is.
They were never doing like weird stuff around us, which I'm so thankful for because that would be traumatizing. Anyways,
yeah, because I know some people grow up differently where you know that's maybe not the case, but yeah.
Well, that is pretty much it for our very first episode.
Way to end the podcast, bro.
Oh, sorry for that, y'all.
Oh
I don't know.
Gosh.
I don't know.
This was a very like interesting episode, but I'm glad we got to do this. I'm glad we got to start off with a bang. You know?
Too. I'm excited for next week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was our very first episode of Big Sis Energy.
Whoop, whoop.
And yeah, make sure to DM us any questions that you guys have that you guys want to see on the podcast. You might be featured.
Yes.
But that's pretty much it.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram. Follow the Big Sis Energy on Instagram as well. It's Big Sis Energy with 2 Y's. And
our TikToks, obviously.
Our TikToks, everything else. But stay tuned, y'all. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.